Hi, Dan Dixon here, Impact Martial Arts. We're going to look at the armbar from the mount today. And what we're going to see is we're going to see different levels of learning throughout the different age groups that we go over. Today we've done 4-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds, and we have Evan Troxel here. He's a 14-year-old. He's going to perform it as well. We'll see what level he's at. I'm going to go over the movement very briefly and look at the different parts. There's 7 distinct parts to the armbar from the mount. It can be done different ways. This is by no means the only way to do an armbar from the mount. It is a good, consistent way to do it. There are more complicated ways, and then there are less complicated ways, but this is a pretty good way to control someone and get the armbar on someone who's resisting what you're doing. So let's start from the mount. Come this way. There we go. So, like I said, there's 7 parts to this. The first thing you want to do is you want to get behind the arm. So you're going to reach in here, grab behind the tricep. That's 1. Now I'm going to pull this shoulder up. As I pull this shoulder up, I plant my hand down here to the other side because I'm going to rotate and put my knee toward his ear. Now what I'm doing there is I'm getting behind his arm so that I can fall for the arm bar. So arm, pull, post, rotate. Look where my knee is. My knee is right behind. We're going to move back a little bit. This one more. My knee is right behind his ear. Now, as I'm getting ready to do the arm bar, I scoop here to what's called the S mount. Now what I'm doing here is I'm trapping his other shoulder. So now he's trapped in here. He's trapped on this side. He's trapped on that side. Now the last thing to do is just to throw my leg over, pull my heels down, and finish the arm bar. So let's look at that one more time. 7 distinct parts. Now when you're learning this, you're going to learn this in parts that happen sequentially. So we'll look at it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Some of the keys that you're looking for here is rotating behind the arm, capturing the other arm when you do what's called the S mount, and when you fall back, the most important part is falling back, getting the leg over the head before your butt hits the ground. So there's a lot of small details to this that make this work. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And again, now the difference between somebody who can do this well is if they're putting the pieces together all at once. Can you do multiple movements at the same time? That's as you progress. Can you do it against somebody who is resisting you, who's fighting you? That's another, if he were going live and fighting against me, would I still be able to get it with him holding his arms and resisting and turning and twisting and trying to knock me off? That's what makes it so difficult. Drilling against somebody who's not resisting is relatively easy. Fighting against somebody who is resisting you it takes it to a whole new level. So again, one more time, we'll reach in, tricep. There's 1. Pull the arm. 2. Post the hand next to the head. We do that so he doesn't rotate when I rotate. If I didn't post my hand here, when I were to rotate, he would just rotate with me, all right, to stop me from getting behind his arm because he kind of knows what I'm doing. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are the parts. Thank you.
Let's first take a look at Dominic. He's 4 years old. He's been training for about 3 months. He's seen this move before. He's practiced it before. He was asked to demonstrate it after seeing it about 5 times. And as you can see, he's in the very, very early cognitive stage of learning this motor skill. You can see he barely gets one of the elements correct.
All right, good job.
Next, we'll see Hunter. He's 6 years old. He's been practicing for about a year. And you'll see that he gets a little bit more of the movements correct. He gets about 2 of them correct. The grabbing of the arm and the falling to the side. So you can see he's still in the early cognitive stage of this motor skill. But he is picking up more than Dominic did. Next, we see Mason. He's 10 years old. He's been training for exactly 2 years. And you can see the movements come a little more naturally to him. He's picking up more pieces of the puzzle here. His movements are more fluid. He seems to be picking up more pieces to the movements. And you'll see that he actually gets more of the nuances of the move. Lastly, we see Jace. He's 12 years old, has been training for over 2 years, and you'll see that he is very close to what we would call the autonomous stage. The movements come more naturally. He remembers most of the pieces, still improving. I wouldn't classify him as maybe an expert, but very close to what I would call the advanced or autonomous stage. He's hitting most of the pieces and making very little errors.
Good.
Here you see Evan, 14 years old. You can see he's hitting all the parts correctly. You see he's thinking about it a little bit, so it's not quite autonomous. He's close. Also, the one thing that you notice, he's not putting the pieces together simultaneously. If you watch where I did it, you'll see where number 2, 3, and 4 kind of mesh together. And that's where you become more autonomous, when the pieces fit together a little closer, it's smoother, and you're actually doing parts at the same time.